Bitcoin has potential to absolutely rip right now because something that has never happened in crypto is officially about to happen potentially. All right. And that's exactly why I'm in the blockchain right now because I'm getting excited and my focus has completely shifted to crypto in these upcoming weeks. So, Newski, let's tell them what's going on, bro.
Yeah, and everything we share will be in the description below for you guys to read along with. But let's just kick it off, right? So it says what to know right now about crypto investing as Regulators Way, the first spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund. So an ETF, right? There's been a lot of news, a lot of talk around Bitcoin because it actually hit $30,000 this week. And by the time you're watching it, it actually might be higher than 30,000, right? So there's a lot of good stuff happening. And the reason for it is because this spot Bitcoin ETF. Now let's explain to you guys, right? You guys might be like, oh, there's already an ETF for Bitcoin, but there's a difference, and that's why we want to bring this down here for you guys. So it says U.S. investors currently have access to Bitcoin futures ETF, which invest in Bitcoin future contracts, right? So it says or agreements to buy or sell the asset later. So that's completely different than a spot ETF, which is literally investing in the actual currency and actual coin itself. That's why it's such a big deal. And that's why everyone, well, not everyone, a lot of people are running towards Bitcoin in this last week or so, because they're like, yo, if this happens and the company that's going to make this happen is BlackRock, there's a lot of stuff that might happen, right? So let's just talk about that really quick, right? How do you feel about this first before we dive into other details?
Bro, in the crypto community, they have been waiting for years for a spot ETF. There's been other institutions that's applied for it, but they've all gotten rejected. But people say, hold up, BlackRock is applying for a spot ETF on Bitcoin? Oh, nah, they not getting rejected. You look at BlackRock like, for all people who watch basketball, like LeBron, like when LeBron wants something done, is gonna get done. Like, he's the boss. That's how people look at BlackRock. Like if they want to bring on a spot ETF, they're going to approve that for BlackRock. And there's been some sources that are in the know that have actually said that they have a high prediction that they think that they're going to get approved for it. So that's what's saying Bitcoin's price really bullish, because that's major. That's a lot of money that will enter the space. Yeah.
Huge.
And I'll say one more thing about that real quick, bro. Like the reason why people will want that exposure through ETFs because it's risky in the ways that you can get it now. And most people don't want to have a ledger, remember their password and stuff like that. It's really a difficult process to own Bitcoin. You can't trust the exchanges, but BlackRock is known and trusted. You could own it through your retirement fund and everything. There's a lot of like safe money that could be put into it. So people will now have exposure to Bitcoin in the safest way.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, right? Because I think the other point, just to go back, you said is Bitcoin's price went up, and there's going to be a lot of money that's going to be put into it if this goes through. So one of the biggest things I wanted to point out here is Bitcoin has surged more than 80% in 2023. However, it's still more than 50% below its all-time high from November of 2021. And that's why this is crazy. And then obviously Rel brought up the whole risk, reward scenario in terms of ETF. It's going to be a very big movement. Like, guys, just look at this price. So as we just said, right, around this time period, which was around like what, $68,000 about, that's what Bitcoin was at. It has come down all the way to 15,000. And now, just as you see this news from 25, it hovered around like 30,000. It crossed 30,000. So it's a very, very big deal. And to call it even more crazy, right, is because the likes of BlackRock we just talked about, but Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Citadel, other people are going to get involved within this whole world of ETFs, because if BlackRock gets approved, bro, it's just a matter of time before everyone is able to get the spot ETF. A lot of people are applying for it as well. So they're not going to say yes to BlackRock and then say no to other companies, right? Like that wouldn't make sense. And that's why this is huge, because investors piled into cryptocurrency when interest rates were low, pushing the market value to 3 trillion. That's before, bro, all these other companies got involved. So now what, bro? Well, if that happens, where do we see this going?
I mean, if they get involved, and then obviously eventually Jerome Powell's going to have to cut interest rates. It might not be in 2023, but let's say it's in 2024. Yeah. You got the Bitcoin halving event happening in probably April or May 2024. The Bitcoin halving event is something that occurs every approximately 4 years on Bitcoin.
Yep.
And that usually sends the price of Bitcoin way higher. You guys could fact check that. So that's happening in April, May of 2024. He's gonna have to cut interest rates in 2024. If we get a spot ETF now, yo, Bitcoin, chef's kiss right there.
And it's not only Bitcoin, right? Because think about it, like Ethereum is right behind it. If you guys been following Ethereum, it's also been going up. And we're not just a crypto channel. I don't want y'all thinking that, but we're just pointing out facts. Like go look at crypto's chart and then go look at the top 3, 4, 5 cryptos. You're gonna see Ethereum right behind Bitcoin. And Ethereum is also going up. So that's something to consider because they might have the ETF coming out soon. I wouldn't be shocked if that happens. And this is the other piece, right? So Rel and I talked about this a lot before. This is iShare, which is BlackRock. So it's the blockchain and tech ETF. Rel, how many times did we tell these people, like, if y'all are interested in crypto, y'all are interested in Bitcoin, there's no ETF like that lets you get into it. But if you want exposure, this is what they can check out.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
The cool part is, bro, now BlackRock, since it's already managing this stuff, people might transfer out of this and just go straight into the Bitcoin one.
Yeah, or they have exposure to both. So if you want more exposure, which a lot of people have been begging for more exposure, they're gonna go to the other one. Some people do want to play it safe here, but it's a great option to have both.
It absolutely, and we don't recommend you guys to just put all your money in. Obviously, you gotta do your own research, and you have to have a good risk to reward ratio. You have to have risk management when it comes to like how much exposure you want to crypto. It's still so new, but this is the biggest piece right here that gives me peace. I'm sure, Rel, you feel at peace too, knowing BlackRock is a $10 trillion asset management company, bro. $10 trillion. We talk about Vanguard, we talk about Fidelity. What is that number right here, bro?
Well, 4.5 trillion. Vanguard is 7.2 trillion. When you add them together, you have to pretty much add them together just to get BlackRock's number for the most part.
And my crazy part is I love Fidelity so much, bro. You have to double Fidelity and you're still not there. You're still not at BlackRock. And that's the crazy part. So that's the wild part about this whole thing. And this all happened after SEC sues Coinbase. So we want to show you guys what the cool part about this is. So I'm gonna give Rel the chart really quickly because guys, y'all might be getting played sometimes, man. That's all I gotta say. And viewers will always like mess with you on this, but you guys have to be very careful.
I love how the stock market operates and how the crypto markets operate. It's so funny. Okay, so let's throw back for a second to the S&P 500, and around here you see what I'm pointing to. I'm pointing to right down here. This is when the Silicon Valley Bank crisis happened around March 10th and going into the following trading day on March 13th. When the news came out, we dumped, and the day that we opened up the stock market, after that news came out, we ran. The stock market has never come back to that low price ever since that news came out. Everybody's saying we're in a bull market now. So it's funny how the worst news possible, bank failures, 2008 is back, right? That all happened, and that was the bottom as soon as that news came out. It seems like they try to scare people out of their positions before they go on a run. That's interesting. Let's think about Coinbase. Wow. Okay. So what happened? We gave you guys an episode a couple weeks ago now, where Coinbase, they've gotten sued by the SEC and they're trying to take them down. And guess what happened here?
That's a crazy one. June 6th.
Right, on June 6th. Okay, so this is June 5th right here. June 6th, we opened up June 6th, gapped it down, which means that on June 5th, the price closed right here. On June, it closed, let's just call it, it closed at $58. Coinbase opens up the next day at $47. It dropped $11 overnight.
That's crazy.
Right? They were down, I believe, 12% on the day, it says. And then what do? Ever since the news came out, Coinbase is ripping. They're up from 47 to 61. Then we do the math, and I forgot how much it was.
It was 28%. In just a matter of weeks.
Up 28% in a couple weeks, bro. Like right after the worst possible news came out. And that's why I say don't let them shake you out your spot, because Coinbase looks like it has more upside. And so let's just, like, while we here, we might as well look into a couple of these charts, right? So this is Bitcoin's chart. You guys can see that it's been on a tear lately. it's just funny because, like we said, all that news was coming out around this time period, and ever since Bitcoin's been ripping, especially obviously after the ETF news. Ethereum has been ripping as well, and it looks very, very similar. And it's like, for people who know technicals, this weekly chart to me looks extremely bullish. It looks like we're going to be forming a Morningstar pattern right here in demand. And to me, I think that there's potentially some upside there. And we already talked about Coinbase. And I was just saying, for altcoins, this is one altcoin I'll bring up, which is Cardano. And Cardano, to me, I personally think they have upside. And I'm going to be looking to get into buying some Cardano real quick just to swing it. I see Cardano pushing up another at least like 16%, coming to like 35, and potentially if we could get over 38, then 38 cents, then I think Cardano will come up here to 45. If it gets up to about 45, I believe that's close to a 50% return from this buying position right here. So I'm personally going to be looking into getting the Cardano swings. And some people say, hey, it's risky to do altcoins right now with the thing going on with the SEC. Yeah, I understand that. It was risky to invest in the stock market when Silicon Valley crisis was transpiring. And so I'll allocate an amount of money that I'm willing to lose, but I know that the risk to reward is absolutely there. I try not to get scared out by the news. I focus on the technicals. So that's my take on the technical side here, the crypto.
Yeah, and also, guys, just wanted to make sure, right? Just because he's doing that does not mean you have to do it, right? Like, that's his prerogative. That's what he's trying to do research on. He believes in it, but y'all have to do your own research. We will always tell you guys, do your own research when it comes to this stuff. But something cool to consider, right, is this, which is, I think everyone talks about Bitcoin as what, bro? It's the digital what?
Digital gold.
Exactly. So let's just go back and look at it. You know how we're talking about an ETF being made, and that's most likely going to push the price up of the actual coin itself. Let's go look at this really quick. So right now, this right here is the gold ETF, right? It's literally called GLD. So one thing I want to point out is when it was created. So GLD was launched on November 18th, 2004. Okay, it was the first ETF to offer investors an easy and particularly cost-effective way to indirectly exposure to gold, because gold is obviously expensive. So they were like, we're gonna make an ETF, and then you guys should be good on that end, because obviously people love ETFs. That's essentially what it is. Let's just look at it. Remember, 2004. So if you go look at it, 2004 right here, right around, let's see, well, let me go. Okay, bet. So look at the price of it, around 670-ish, right? That's kind of what it is. 700 if you want to call it. What happened after this, bro? What happened after this?
It went on a tangent, boy.
What happened after? It just keeps on going up and up and up, right? And not saying that's going to happen with this Bitcoin ETF. We're not saying that. But if Bitcoin is digital gold, I mean, it does give us some type of clarity on what could possibly happen, right? And that's the cool part.
Yeah, like the digital gold aspect, also just the impact of them approving an ETF. You've seen what happened when they approved the gold ETF, because a lot of money is involved in these ETFs. Like, y'all gotta understand that pushes a lot of money into the asset. And that's what we're saying will potentially happen if we get a spot ETF for crypto. That's why they've been begging for it for so long, because they know the impact of this. You've seen the impact on gold. Take heed, y'all. I need you to really look into this. That's what I'm saying.
That's a fact. And, you know, we're obviously excited. Like, in all full transparency, we've been dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin, into Ethereum, all these different coins that we believe in, because at the end of the day, you know, DCA will never lead you wrong, in our opinion. And also, we believe in cryptocurrency as well. But we want to know your thoughts, right? Like, let us know what you guys think. Do you guys think this is good? Do you guys think this is bad? What do you think is going to happen? Because we're always curious. But if you're still watching, thank you. We appreciate you. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Plus, hit that little notification bell because we drop
2 videos a week.
And you don't want to miss them. Check us out on Wednesday. But until then, peace.
Peace.
Soundstripe.